Hello, Curious. If some of you were beginning to think, hang on, we haven't heard from Kanye West in a while, is something wrong? Then fear not, because we're here with some new Kanye gossip for you. None of you will be surprised if I say he's often the one to shock people and sometimes in controversial ways. This has been full of that for him. From announcing that he's running for president, to him sharing private information about his family life, to then going on a tweeting spree. But what exactly has he done now? Did Twitter ban him from using its own platform for 12 hours? Why did West upload a video of someone urinating on a Grammy Award? Is his new music not going to be released? You better stay with me to find out about the crazy stuff going on in the world of the rapper, but before we continue, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. Obviously, we all remember when on July 5th, the rapper, billionaire, fashion designer, and turned Christian announced via Twitter that he would be running for president. Despite the fact that the rumors have been going around for a while, but on that day they were officially confirmed. Then it looked like he had actually withdrawn, but in the end, it turned out that he didn't. But he did enter the race at a late date, so he will not be on the ballot in every state, such as Florida, Texas, and Michigan. Though he can rest easy because he can still count on votes from others like Colorado, Minnesota, and Iowa. Now fears are rising among some politicians that his participation could be the perfect ballot spoiler. Even if the political appeal is low, it still could, however, swing the election one way or the other. The New York Times reported that in a series of recent calls and texts with him, as well as his other comments, Kanye made it very clear that he truly believes that one day he will become president. Though they also added that almost nothing was said about what he wanted to do should he be elected for office. The newspaper isn't the only one confused. Many of his fans and voters are as well. The party with which he entered the race is called the Birthday Party, and the first pieces of campaign art that he released included photos of the editor of Vogue, Anna Wintour, as well as the actress Kirsten Dunst, who replied to him on Twitter clearly being just as confused as the rest of us. So speaking of his political career, I don't think anyone forgets the one presidential rally that he held, and the madness that followed. The rapper and aspiring politician walked on stage wearing a bulletproof vest and saying a lot of things that were either controversial or, just very private. Like when he attacked the memory of Harriet Tubman, revealing that God spoke to him, and the most talked about part of it all, him revealing private details about his family life, when he told everyone that he considered making his wife Kim Kardashian terminate her pregnancy. After that, he went on a Twitter rant claiming, among other things, that in the movie Get Out, it was about him and that his mother-in-laws, Kris Jenner and her boyfriend Corey Gamble, had tried to lock him up. Oh, and let's not forget that he also took a dig at Shia LaBeouf out of all people for some reason, as well as Anna Wintour, the very same one that he included in his campaign art. It seems with Kanye, confusion is all we get. If you want a recap of what happened, then in more detail, follow the link displayed above. In that very same Twitter rant, he also told his 30 million followers that he was going to take some time to focus on music and that his new album, which we also shared a track list of, would be released later that week, and despite the fact that fans were eagerly awaiting midnight for the album to drop, it never came. And fans were left speculating as to what could have happened. Did he get so engrossed in that music that he forgot about the release? Well, it seems that last week, Kanye gave his fans an answer that made everything clear, and in doing so, went on another tweet storm. Get ready, because this is even crazier than the last one. On Monday, he tweeted a declaration that he would not be releasing any new music until he was released from his contracts with Sony and Universal, so we can all safely assume that this is probably one of the reasons why his album was not released when he originally wanted it to. The post has since been deleted, but the next day, he shared a screenshot of what seems to be a text conversation between himself and some unnamed advisor who was proposing him what he should do next, as well as claiming that West's masters are worth more than Taylor Swift's. And for those of you who might not know, in the music industry lingo, masters is the original recording of a song, sound, or performance. The mention of Swift referred to Scooter Braun's 2019 acquisition of the label Big Machine Records, which had owned the rights to the master recordings of Swift's first 6 albums. If you want to know more about that drama, then click on the link above. West also tweeted saying that he wanted to see the contracts of others who were on the Sony and Universal labels, not to mention that he compared the legal documents to being enslaved, and added that he was going to put his life on the line for his people. Oh, and he also called himself the new Moses because would it truly be Kanye without making a religious connection? West also went to talk about his children and how one day they would be the ones who will own all of his masters, which could mean his goal is to gain ownership of them by resolving his contract. But it's not the first time that he has done something like this. In January last year, he sued the music publisher EM to try and get out of the recording deal, and once again going as far as comparing the deal to slavery and saying that he wanted to be set free from its bonds. The company countersued him for these allegations and trying to back out of a legal contract, but in the end, both parties came to an agreement and resolved all issues. Whether this recent outburst by West is linked to this in any way is unknown. Kanye then went on tweeting about Vivendi, and some of you might be asking who or what that is. Now, I would not blame you for not knowing. Vivendi is a French mass media conglomerate that has its headquarters in Paris, and it's one of the biggest media houses. They are known for activities in music, television, film, video games, book publishing, tickets, and even video hosting series. So basically anything to do with the media, chances are they have a stake in it somewhere. In another screenshot of a text conversation, he was told to contact someone who is on the company's board. Looking at the artist's tweets, we can assume that he could be hinting at a potential deal with the French company, but of course, at this time nothing is confirmed. And for some odd reason, he even compared himself to the inventor Nikola Tesla. Oh, and if accusing people alive today of things wasn't enough, he accused Thomas Edison of ruining Nikola's image to control the power. He continued his Twitter storm the next day as well, and that is where things got a little bit complicated. More cryptic tweets followed, naming other businessmen such as the CEO of Netflix, Reed Hastings, as well as actually obtaining the phone number of the CEO of the Vivendi company. The rapper then talked about how the music industry makes it difficult to have ownership of their masters and compared signing a contract to signing over your rights. Kanye said that he's the only one who's able to speak his mind since he managed to make his billions outside of the music industry, and that many other artists are too afraid or unable to speak out against these injustices. West constantly kept repeating the point that he made previously that it will be his children who will have ownership over his masters until he finally drops something that he surprised even those who thought nothing he did could shock them. He made a post that said, "Okay guys, check this out. I don't have a contract with Universal. I have 10. And then a few minutes later, he uploaded screenshots of those contracts page by page. Overall, he spent over 100 tweets on sharing those documents with the world to see, as well as asking all the lawyers in the world to see this. I don't think anyone predicted that this would have been something he would do. The documents that he posted included details of advance payments for his albums, royalty rates, profit-sharing agreements, and several amendments. Some of them are only partially complete and their validity has not been confirmed. But from what we can see, they appear to show that West was given a $12 million advance for his sixth album, Yeezus, and receives royalties of between 14 and 25% of the sales and streams. According to the BBC, music industry lawyer Ariella Butler-Ball said that such a multi-million-dollar advance payments are rare in today's industry because the money isn't there, though she also added that the royalty rates he gets in the deal are typical to the ones she sees for her clients. She also added that very high-profile artists can negotiate for a bigger cut, but what West gets is really the industry standard. Though the true shocker of the night came when Kanye posted a video of someone urinating on his Grammy Award that was lodged in the toilet. Most assumed that it was West himself, but no person is visible in the video besides their shoes, so it's hard to tell. Some people found it hilarious, some were disgusted, and some just straight up offended. And his mother-in-law Kris Jenner isn't all that happy either. A source told In Touch Weekly that the mom-magger is appalled by his actions. The insider also added that the family is used to his antics, but each time he keeps crossing the line. They also mentioned that Kim is at the end of the rope and she can't make any excuses for him any longer. But despite all the drama, Kris has been doing her best to maintain peace in the family. Another insider exclusively told In Touch that while Kris isn't happy with how he's been acting recently and how it's affecting them, she did protect him from looking bad on the family's show. Apparently, there were a lot of urging from Kim to make sure certain footage was never used, but Chris helped with that too. And to end his Twitter antics, the website banned the rapper from his profile for 12 hours. And what was their reason for it? Kanye broke the rules of the website after he tweeted the phone number of Forbes magazine editor and urged his fans to call him. According to a Twitter spokesperson, the tweets were removed for posting private information, and then the account has been temporarily locked in accordance with our private information policy. It seemed that Mr. West wasn't having a great day. The next day after the ban ended, he was of course back on his Twitter, though this time more humble, thanking all the musicians who agree with him, so clearly he is still set on his fight against music contracts. Now tell me, curious, do you agree with Kanye about this matter? How do you think his fight against Sony and Universal will end? And what are your thoughts on Kanye's little video featuring one of his Grammy Awards? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.